Okay, Math 1, Unit 5A.5, Reflections with a Graph. So we're supposed to graph the image reflected over the different lines. Last time we only did axes, this time we're doing not random, but we're doing different lines. So the line y equals 1. Normally I like to just bold that line, so that's going to be this line right there. Right. Remember, y equals is horizontal, or I'll say left to right, like that. And whenever we have an x equals, that's going to be like an up to down line, a vertical line. So just like last time, I'm just going to count, only this time we're not counting to the axis, we're counting to the line. So let's start with I. I is 1, 2, 3, 4 away, so it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4 away. So it'll be down here. J is 1 below, so it'll be 1 above. So there's J prime. And then H will stay the same spot because it's actually on that line. So here's our new triangle. Number 2, reflection along x equals 1. Well, x equals 1 is going to be right here. So we can see really quickly that D will stay in the same spot. B is 2 units to the right, so we're going to go 2 units to the left. C is 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left. And then here's our new triangle. All right, next up, reflect along y equals x. So this one, if we remember, is the line that goes like this. We start at the origin, and then we go up 1 over 1. Or you can go down 1, left 1. So I'm going to draw that line through there. So that's the line that we're going to reflect over. This is the first time that we haven't done a vertical or a horizontal line. Now there's some different little shortcuts, but to start off, I just want to show you I guess this is kind of the shortcut. So we start off and look at, well, T is on it, so that's going to be T prime, right? That one's the easiest. And then S, I'm going to have a line that goes straight towards that other line. So 1 unit and a half. So it's 1.5 units away, so I'm going to go 1.5. I guess it's not really units, it's like diagonal units. So that's how I got my S prime. And then whenever I go to R goes 1, 2.5. So I'm going to go half, 1, 2. And there's going to be my R prime. And lastly, my U is 1.5. So I'm going to go a half and 1. So there's my U prime. So there's our shape. All right, I want to look at this for just a second. What is the point S? The original point S is at 3, 0. S prime is at 0, 3. So we can kind of just see that they swap spots, right? So the reflection y equals x will take your point x, y, and it will turn it into y, x, right? So that's pretty easy. You could do that pretty quickly. If I just gave you well, you know what, I'll leave that stuff there. If I just gave you the points, you could really quickly just kind of invert them. So that's your formula for y equals x. All right, reflection on the line y equals negative x. Right, so that one starts at the origin, like last time, except now it's a negative slope, so it's going to go down 1 over 1, like this. So whenever I draw my line here, it'll look like that. And then just like last time, I'm going to count my distance. Q, I'm not going to draw the line in, but we should be able to see that Q is only half a way away, so it'll be right there. R is 1 away, so it'll end up being down here. P is 1, 2, so it'll be 1, 2. S is 1.5, so it'll be 1/2 and 1. And there's our new shape. Just like last time, I want to look at the actual points to find a little formula. Let's look at Q. The original Q is at 1, -2. The new Q, Q prime, is at 2, -1. Now this one's just a little bit harder to see, but it's actually going to be, if you have xy, it goes to -y, -x. Now let me show you what I mean by that. We have Q, and they first switch spots. They first switch spots like left to right. So these guys switch spots. But we also put a negative in front of it. So I'm going to have a negative, -2, and -1. Well, this is the same thing as 2 and then -1. Okay, so this would be a good thing to write down somewhere to know. And make sure that you write down that it's for y equals -x. And this over here would be something to write down also. Make sure that you remember that it is only for y equals x, right? All right, backside, number 5. Reflection along the line x equals -1. Well, that's going to be right here. Now, there's a little bit of a formula for this, but it's a little bit difficult to write down, and it's kind of long. What I would suggest is just graphing your original point and then graphing your new point. In the next section, I will show you what the formula is, but I think it's just easier or faster to do it by graphing the old point than the new point. So Q is at -3, -5, which would be right here. And then I reflect along that. Well, we can see really quickly that that's 2 units away, so Q prime will be over here. R is at 2, -3. So whenever I reflect over, it'll be over here. S is at 2, -5, which would be there. So whenever I reflect over, it would be here. And there's our triangle. Number 6, reflecting along the line y equals x. Now, because we have a nice, pretty formula, I'm going to use it. Remember that it is xy goes to yx. So E prime will be 1, 4. F prime will be 3, 4. And G prime will be 4, 4. G prime doesn't change. So I start to graph these. Here's E prime. F prime will be right there. Here, let me rewrite that. E prime. Well, F prime will be all the way over here. And then, all right, something's wrong here. Oh, I didn't fix F prime. I just wrote the same thing down. I'm sorry. Over here, it should be 4, 1. All right, yeah, that'll be better. So F is go over 4 and up 1, and then G is over 4 and up 4. All right, there we are. Number 7. We've got the line x equals -2, which goes right there. So looking at K, K is at -4, -3, which is right there. I reflect over and it gets right there. L is at the point 1, -1, which is right there. I reflect over and it goes over here. M is at -3, -5, which should be there. I reflect over and it goes right there. So there we are. I don't know if I can say there anymore. Number 8, y equals -x. Now because we have a formula, I'm going to use it. So I start off with the point x, y, and it turns into -y, -x. So remember, I swapped the sides and I add a negative in the front, right? And the negatives might end up canceling out to be a positive, but for the starting, I'm going to write down those negatives. So z prime will be negative, negative 2, negative 3. So z prime is 2, negative 3. Y prime will be negative 1, negative 4. That one's nice because I don't have to do anything special. And x prime will be negative, negative 3, negative 5. So x prime will be 3, negative 5. All right, I can graph those at 2, negative 3 will be down there. Y will be at right there, y prime. And x will be at 3, negative 5, which should be down there. I'm going to change where my z is written. There we go. All right, that's that section.